Hello and welcome to Coffee with Carey. Thanks for stopping by. Today, wanted to talk about how to ditch those nerves, leave them behind, and bring on your dates the most confident, cool part of your persona with you on this date. Some tips on how to knock those nerves out of there so that you can enjoy yourself and be your best. And let's get to that list right now. I have, let's see how many. Looks like I have 8 plus a bonus. I guess that makes 9 if I'm adding correctly. Stick around. That's what's up. Being nervous is a very normal response to a first date. Even if you are a wholly confident, outgoing person who can talk to anybody, maybe you even talk to people for a living, you're always comfortable chit-chatting, making small talk with people, but suddenly a date comes along and always surprises me when I hear that more people are nervous about a first date than they are a job interview. I can't really fathom that personally, but I see it over and over again. Nerves just kind of come into play when you're meeting somebody new, and I think it's because so many people have expectations around dating. So I have today some things that we can think about and do to prepare for and to get out ahead of in order to be our very best confident self on a first date and not let those nerves get in the way or ruin anything on this exciting first date. Number 1, I think remembering that each date is a unique situation. What happened on your last first date has no bearing because this person's going to be totally different. So separating yourself from past first dates and not talking yourself into the fact that you are a person who gets nervous on first dates, because you can start fresh as a person who doesn't get nervous on first dates right away, right before this date. You can convince yourself that, you know what, this person may or may not like me. I can't really control that. I can only be myself. And what am I going to get nervous about? If they're not the right person for me, then they're not. If I don't like them or they don't like me, it's just not meant to be. That stuff happens. So I'm just going to go have fun and enjoy this person's company and not bringing my nerves along with me. So that's your choice. And remembering that each date is a brand new, unique experience that you can make that decision at any point in the dating process. Number 2, that you can only control what you can control. Remembering that. So you can't control whether this conversation is going to flow or this other person is going to be nervous or too chatty or just right. But you can control the energy that you bring with you, your attitude, your positivity, your friendliness, your smile. You can put the effort in and choose what you're going to wear and the mood you're going to allow yourself to take with you to this first date. So there's lots of stuff you can't control. That glass of wine goes flying across the table. What are we going to do? Let that ruin the mood? No, but we can't control it anyways. Not like we saw it coming. Can't sweat the stuff we can't even control. And the things that we do worry about most likely don't even happen. Control what you can. Don't worry about the rest. Number 3, remember that dating takes practice. If you're new out there, if you haven't dated in a while or in 30 years, it takes a while to flex that muscle, to get it back into shape. So cut yourself a break and don't have such high expectations that you're going to be the best first dater or be the same dater that you were 20 years ago, right? We change and our personalities change and we forgot what it's like. So give yourself a little time to get that muscle working again and don't be so hard on yourself. Just keep working out until you build that muscle up, and I think that would be your best bet. Number 4, I think it's helpful for a lot of people to have a routine that they go through prior to going on a date. I had a client, she's having a baby now. She'd always take off work early whenever I was planning her dates, and she'd go have her hair done and her nails. And I was like, holy cow. She'd buy a new dress every time too. Then she'd lay out most recent purchases, the dresses on the bed, and put together outfits and send me pictures. We always had fun with that. But she had a routine of making herself feel that this was a special thing. But it could be as easy instead of all of that, because that was a lot. That was quite a bit that she was going through. And while I think it's important to take a little part of the routine for making ourselves presentable and feel confident, I think that was probably over the top and contributed to having even higher expectations than one naturally would on a first date. As I said, it could be as easy as having a playlist or being a person who does a little workout before they get showered for a date, taking a quick run to relieve stress, maybe a little meditation to let the pressures of the day dissipate so that we can focus on bringing our fun self, our interested and interesting self with us out on this date. Could be touching base with a friend or calling your dating coach for a couple last minute pointers, whatever routine that you want to create for yourself, but do it every time before a date so that it makes you feel kind of confident, gets you in the groove. You don't walk into this date and go, holy cow, here I am on a date again. Didn't feel this coming. A little routine could be helpful. And I mentioned the meditation in the last one, but I always recommend to clients that before they walk into whatever place they are arriving to meet this new person, that they take a brief moment before they enter the door and just say something to themselves along the lines of, I'm going to leave the day behind me. I'm going to go in and just be the very best version of myself. No pressure. I'm here to have a nice evening, but I'm going to be the best version of myself here tonight so that I can enjoy myself and get to know somebody new. That's a great way to really be present and in the moment for this date. And also, you may want to have a vision of yourself on this date laughing and the other person leaning in or touching your hand, or do some visualization of this date going really well, whatever that looks like to you. That can always help make you less nervous and make those things more likely to feel comfortable and happen on the date. Next up, I think that it's helpful, I like doing affirmations. I think that those truly do work for a lot of people. If you take them seriously, they work seriously. So do a little affirmations in the mirror, remind yourself of some of your finer qualities or why you're such a great catch. But also it could just be as simple as looking over a list that you've created on your phone even, of all the things you have to offer, all your fine qualities that you will be bringing with you on this date. I'm nice to the wait staff. I can tell a funny story. I'm a great listener. I'm really interested in hearing what somebody else, wants to share and encouraging them to share more by asking follow-up questions. I'm very comfortable in my own skin and not worried about what I'm wearing, because as long as I'm comfortable, I'll be great. Whatever your qualities are and the things you're feeling good about, review a list of those before you head out on the date, and that'll really go a long way to set your nerves on the back burner. If you really want to be self-assured that this conversation is not going to hit any dead zones, you might want to look at the list that you've created in your phone of some of those great questions or conversation starters. I've got a whole little series here, a playlist called Conversation Starters. Pick 2 of those, 3 of those. I'll put a link to it right here, the playlist, and have some of those at the ready, either committed to memory, or you can look at the little note on your phone to remind you that should you hit an area where you feel like it's getting into too much of an interview vibe, or the date's been hijacked into one topic, maybe not even a fun one, you can always say, I had some questions that I prepared that I thought would be fun to share. I'm not recommending those, I think it's 36 questions that will make you fall in love with somebody. I'd hold off on that until you are sure this is a person you want to be in love with, maybe. But, just having some conversation starters, some topics, a couple stories that you have tucked away in your phone as well. That's another episode of mine on sharing stories as opposed to asking a lot of questions back and forth. Have those ready to go. That will give you some confidence that you're not going to be stuck somebody complaining about their work day or talking about their horrible boss or their ex-wife for the next hour. So if you're ready with those at hand, you'll be prepared for that situation and you can be confident that the conversation will be going pretty well. And then the final one, number 8, is just like a refocus. I think too many people go on a first date and they're nervous because they're thinking, will this person like me? Or how's it going? Do they like me? And you become self-aware. And I'll remind you of my little phrase in case you are not a person who watches all my episodes, which you should be. Don't forget to subscribe before you go. You wouldn't worry so much what people think about you if you realized how seldom they do. They're more likely worried about what you're thinking about them. Oh, is my shirt doing that? Or, can she smell the onion I just ate on my bra? Whatever, somebody else is worried about themselves. They're not noticing or contemplating whether you're a great conversationalist in the middle of a date. They may look back later and go, did I do all the talking? Or, that happens. So people will do it in their feedback. And please apologize. I think I may have done like 90% of the talking. I was so nervous. Please tell your client that I'll let her talk next time. That's cute. Nerves do funny things. So the more prepared you can be to put your nerves aside and just enjoy yourself, the more fun you're going to have on your date. So this last thing is to remember that you can relax. Nobody's judging you. They truly are not. Or thinking about those things in the way we do, looking at ourselves. But the point here is to remember, you're not here to impress somebody. You're here to get to know somebody and allow them to get to know you. And I'd focus more on, do I like this person? Not do they like me, but am I enjoying my company with them? Do I enjoy their company? Do I enjoy my company when I'm with them? Does this person's personality bring out a part of me that I enjoy? Is there a vibe here? Are we having a nice flow? Do I think they're attractive? Do I want to see them again in a different environment to learn more? Would I be looking forward to that even maybe? So if you focus more on those things as opposed to thinking you're being judged, that's super helpful at helping you to not be nervous. And then my bonus was, if you are a person who really feels that you would benefit from feedback after a date, having a fly on the wall because the other person, I'm talking about being a matchmaker here actually. So as a matchmaker, when my clients go out on a date and they wonder, oh my goodness, did I talk for 90% of the date? Or did he notice that I might have said something that was misconstrued to the waiter? I wasn't trying to be rude, I was trying to be helpful, but that might have come off wrong. I talk to the other person. I can tell my client, oh no, he didn't even notice that. He said you were really nice to the wait staff and he loved that you talked so nicely about your kids, that you seemed like a great mom. Your job sounded really interesting, but you didn't talk about it too much. Although maybe for next time you'd want to pay attention to this because he mentioned blah, blah, blah. If that is going to be super helpful to you, reach out to me, message me. And if working with a matchmaker for a few dates and getting some feedback would really put you at ease, maybe that's something you could try at some point in your dating journey. And I'm here to answer any questions about that if you need to. So I appreciate you stopping on by today. I hope you found these tips interesting, maybe helpful even. Do what mom's telling you to do down there. That's my mama. She's saying give it a thumbs up. So please do. Makes her happy, makes me happy. And then I hope you'll come back. So subscribe to the channel and maybe hit the ring bell so you're notified every time I make a new episode and put it up live. Thanks for stopping by. Until next time, have a good one.